Live, and I did have a good signal. Looks like I have a better signal here, so I apologize for that if you were listening. And I'm going to start again. Okay. Looks like I got more bars here, and I won't have the same issue. Thanks for your patience. This is an update about the spiritual pilgrimage, this winter's spiritual pilgrimage, and I wanted to give a few updates about it generally. I'm not going to share the dates of it outside of the application process, but uh, I want to sort of have a way that people could ask questions or whatever. My email's not working over at JesusChristTrust.net. It's just not functioning, and we're trying to work through that glitch. I apologize for that. Of course, they're always trying to mess with me. I mean, it's a Gmail account. It's just crazy. But so I messaged people in the classroom app. Okay. And if you're not in that on Jesus Christ Trust, I'd appreciate it if you get it if you're doing a pilgrimage. Okay. It's an easy sign up. It's free. You just go in there and make an account with, the service that does it. You're just in there, and I can message you. It's private messages, and that way, if hey, I got this question about this or that, you can message me privately in there. It's since I'm having these email issues, I apologize, but I'm having them. So, and I want to make sure that I'm available to people to answer questions, this, that, or the other thing, uh, on this topic or any other topic, but especially this one, because, it's important. People are making plans and dedicating their time to this and so on. And I just want to make sure that, you know, they have all the information they need, so it's really easy. Okay. Uh, I've made my reservations and so on. I won't be staying at the Mayor Pilgrim Center. Uh, they have some, issues with me and what I say to them. They don't like you know, certain elements of the truth. And I don't want to make your pilgrimage anything about me. Like that doesn't. You're there to be with God, and no controversy, nothing like that. I'm not into that for you. No, like I'm the one that stirs the pot. You don't. You just go to God. I am here to help you in that process. They're extremely great about watching over people there. There's men's quarters, there's women's quarters. Also, they have places where for families too. Like if you're bringing children and stuff, they have family quarters where you can stay there. We're particularly going at a time when it's not very busy, and so they should have anything you need available. Okay, as far as a place to stay of any of those kinds, like in the men's quarters, in the women's quarters, and also a family place if you need that. So that's why the winter was chosen and kind of a totally off time in the winter, so that you have a quiet time, no controversy, and it'll just be your homies in there, like the people doing this work and stuff. And I think it would be great for the people that are very dedicated to this work to meet the people that are also very dedicated to this work. I think that's really worthy of your time. Not just that I'll be there, but I think that's really worthy of your time too. Uh, so I'm saying super nearby. I got a little cottage, and I'll be able to have a gathering or two or whatever over there of the people all site. And so, where you contact the Mayor Spiritual Center, they're gonna be like, "How did you hear about Mayor Brahma?" Just don't mention my name, okay? Don't mention my name. Uh, if they push, Jesus Christ Trust on that. But I just even that, you know what I mean? Like, could say, I just wouldn't say anything. I saw it online. I'm very attracted to Mayor Baba. I just wouldn't, but it's like you'll see everywhere you go at the place. Everyone's first question is, "How did you come to Baba?" And you know that's not really. It's good for them because they get to peg. Oh, you're one of them that remembers their previous lifetimes and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? But I would just not play into that and put it off like that. Oh, I found it on the internet. You know, just respond, hey, well, how did you come to Miramala? You know what I mean? And they've got a pre-planned story that they've told a million times, and that you'll hear it and you'll listen, and it'll have some relevance, and you'll get to know more. You know, if you want to talk with the people, get to know more. Also, another option while you're there on site is to take silence, either for part of the time or all of the time. They 100% understand that, and so do the people there, so it's not like you're doing anything weird. There is there again, right? It's just, of the day. It's how they operate and so on. So uh, they're really good about that there. And there's also night watchmen. Like, that place is crazily looked after. I'm sure they got cameras up in the woods and everything now. So follow the rules. Don't do anything, that isn't exactly what they prescribe. They have, a little list. They'll email you it. You'll be on track. They'll give you a little tour. Uh, it's probably, I think it's the most beautiful place in America, and the best place to have a spiritual retreat that exists in America, So uh, you're going to the right place. It's not going to be about me. It's going to be about you and God. I would spend as much time as you can. Uh, Mir Baba's house used to be only open on Sundays for a couple hours. Now it's open several days a week. I would go there and go into his house and basically, give all your problems and your prayers and so on uh, to Bear Baba at his bed, and I would go to his house and do that when it's open. I would, and uh, I know that sometimes there's a little gathering house there called the Dilruba House where they kind of run operations. Not a There's a gate too where they kind of help people in and out of the Bear Baba Center. But as far as running the place, it happens from this house near Bear Baba's house. And they used to on Sundays have like a gathering right after the Sunday thing. I'm sure they still do. I don't know if they have that every time the Bear Baba house is open, but they have snacks and Baba people meet there, and it's a beautiful little old perfect little gathering place. So I would also, take the time to do that too, at least once, to go over. But I think you'll find, your time spent there is good too. Yeah, William, take silence. It makes sense. And, but this is a bunch of your homies are going too, so you can take silence or you don't have to. You can interact with them. You can talk with them. You're going to meet them. They're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, this might be a good symbol, to be like, oh, J Baba, and just hold up your finger if somebody does that because they never do that. You might, then know it's somebody, Jay, hey, uh, then you might know is somebody also on pilgrimage. Um, and I'm going to go over a couple things that I think would, because this pilgrimage to the Bear Center in North Myrtle Beach, Mir Baba says, "Oh, I have two pilgrimage centers. My home in the east, my home in the west. This is his home in the west, okay, and it's in America." He said America would be the place where spiritual progress would happen here, and I'm that one who is, whatever, he picked to lead that charge. So, and no, yeah, date. I'm not giving out the dates in public, Jay. I'm not. You have to apply for the pilgrimage on Jesus Christ Trust on that. I'm not giving out that dates. That's a point of because and that's a good question. The devil in a body, 100% will be at the Bear Baba Center. Absolutely will be there. Okay, in somebody, will be there. The devil will be there. Even if I don't give out the dates, it's just not all the devil's minions will be there. You know what I mean? Like the ones trying to get, uh, through to my work and stuff like that. Uh, so I'm trying to just make it as quiet, and all about your pilgrimage to God and nothing else. Okay, and so follow their rules. Be very kind to the people there. They're very kind. They're very knowledgeable. Some of them been there for decades. You know what I'm saying? The whole time the place has been there. The place is immaculate. It's you'll never be in a place like this. Uh, and also, if you have a if you enjoyed your visit, if it was productive, my goal is just to make it, oh, okay, I'll help you there the first time, but then in the future, I would go there as much as you can, as your, budget of time and money allows. It's probably the most affordable place to stay of anywhere in the United States. Anywhere. Like their nightly cost is ridiculous. I don't know what it is right now. It used to be $26 a night, and they wouldn't put it on their website or anything like that, right? Because they'd be inundated. But it's crazy affordable. I used to, when I was homeless living in my car, I would go there and have some time indoors, and it was affordable for me at some point. Some amount of days I could be there and so on. It's very Spartan. You kind of have a route, like if you, there are three places. Say if you have a family, literally, like you're bringing children and a husband and wife, then you have to be bringing children, child or children. Then you could get family quarters, but if you're not, you'll be placed in the men's quarters or the women's quarters. So, which is great, and they have a night watchman there every night. Like that place is, cameras. No place is more meticulously cared for. You're not even going to believe what they do. And everything. It's just beyond what can be described. It's like a museum in a way. It's like a living museum. And inside his house is literally like a museum. It's like you stepped into the first day of the age. Literally, like the kitchen and the appliances and the furniture, the wall, like the whole place is absolutely immaculately, perfectly taken care of. It is really beyond. Uh, so, a couple things that I want you to kind of digest about your stay there, my recommendations for your stay there. Because listen, this is, I want to give you a pilgrimage place for you, and anyone could go there as much as they want without me in the future. I want to help you, but then it's yours to go as your time allows. But then next winter, this is like a preparation for going to India, his home in the east, where his tomb is. And so if you get the rules here and so on and get along, you'll be like, oh, hey, I stayed at the Marin Pilgrimage Center in Myrtle Beach, and when you apply to go over to India, it'll be, they'll understand, you'll kind of understand the dynamics of staying there. It's very hands off, it's not, they have a few rules, but they care for that place on a level that's, like a museum. Okay, it's unreal. And so if you take your time there and appreciate it that much and don't cause problems and stuff like that, then you'll be able to go there for the whole time that we have. And your passage to going to India, you'll be well accepted, and that kind of thing. So my goal is to get you prepared to go to this India retreat for those people that want to. Okay. Um, Excuse me. And so, in that, here's a couple things that I'd like you to, mentally prepare for, and also prepare for doing while you're there. One is women should have their hair covered just by you know what, like a scarf or veil, or say not your face or anything, just your hair covered is common in India. for different religions, for different reasons, that the women cover their hair. And anyone who does that, like when you're in India, you're recognized as a spiritual pilgrim. You see what I'm saying? They'll be like, oh, they're not Indian. You know what I mean? But if you have your hair covered, they'll understand you're on a spiritual pilgrimage. Women will get no problems, or much fewer. So it's just something that if you could sort of get over it and get used to it, and it's just, turns into something you're okay with at this one, then, it'll be super easy for you when you go to India. And this isn't when you're in your own quarters, you don't have to do that, right? It's when you're like, because at the Barrett Center, if you're not at a family house, there's no kitchen in there. They have two public kitchens where you put your food and you make your food and stuff like that. So you'll be interacting with anyone else, a gathering, if you want, in one of the kitchens and hanging out with your homies. There's plenty of places to sit and stay and hang out. You do it all day, you know. They're great, wonderful kitchens and with places to sit, and it's hard to describe, but it's so amazingly wonderful. So you can make your food there, hang out, play cards, read, chat, whatever. They're great about that, and you'll meet some other people who were there. Uh, so for the women, I would do that, and if you have to go off site, you know what I mean, or if you have to go out of your room, like if you're a woman, I would. You can go by yourself, but I'm telling you, the devil's going to be there 100%. And so, if you go out or whatever, you can go by yourself 100%. Okay, God will watch over you. But do you really want to have that interaction, with the devil and stuff like that? You try to have one with God. So if you go with someone else, there's less opportunity to be undone. Like the devil has undone two of y'all, or more. And so it's just, that was sort of, just kind of like dynamics recommendation. Okay. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I would have used my name. This is where maybe I said this, but they're gonna be like, "Hey, how did you come to Baba?" Just say, "Oh, I saw this on the internet. I'm very attracted to it, blah 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 blah." Don't use my name. I would have used a church name either, but if absolutely pressed, maybe. But I would have used either one because that's gonna color your pilgrimage. I'm not trying to do that in any way. I'm nobody. I really am. I'm just a servant of God. I'm just because I'm up on the spiritual hierarchy of the servants. I'm still just a servant. That's all. I'm not. And so my goal is to not make it about the servant or them being the servants either. It's just your relationship with God and that experience on your pilgrimage, and that's all. Okay, so don't bring me up. Don't, feel free to, yeah, said Jesus Christ, let me be. That's perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's a perfect way to go about it. Thank you, Ala, because Ala's already made his plans and so on, and so they accepted that. Fantastic. I recommend that. Yes, Ala, thank you, thank you, thank you. So that'll be just really easy. It won't be about me or anything like that. I'm not planning to go on site except for maybe go on to visit Mayor Baba's home when it's open on Sunday. I'm kind of would like to do that. So I don't think any other women will be there with covering their hair. You know what I'm saying? So if someone's doing that, that'll also be a way to, women can recognize, oh, hey, that's probably someone I could speak to and so on like that. So to help you, okay? Because I'm not gonna say, hey, this person's going, that person's going, and all that stuff. I'm not gonna do that. Like, it don't make sense to do that. This time of year that you're going, not many people are gonna be there at all. So who's who and what's what is gonna be easy for you to figure out in short order. And you can make time to spend with yourselves for meals or hanging out or whatever. They also have wonderful, go to the library. Like, all I want to do is go to the library there, except for whether you're taking a walk or go to the beach. But I mean, the library and the view, it's only open certain hours. And I mean, you talk about a spiritual library. It's not huge, it's just great, you know? And yeah, you're not gonna, and the view is over the lake. I mean, it's the, if you want to be in the perfect place to read near Baba anything, that's the place. Okay, they also have spiritual programs like usually entertainment, um, musical entertainment, or someone will visit and give a talk like, oh, hey, I met Mer Baba, or my father met Mer Baba, or I had this experience, or something like that. Those people come and speak, and also there are a lot of Baba lovers in the area, so, and some of them are unbelievable musicians and stuff. So to go there and be uplifted by some of that music, I mean, there's just one piano player that's just like, you know, uh, it's amazing to go there. And there will be more people there at those gatherings. Like the people that live in that area go there to be at the Baba Center, you know, and this is their whole life. So to go there and have that experience that you're gonna have and see, you know, the it's not entertainment, but the spiritual programs they call it. People visit. There's also a regular tea time. I think it's daily. I don't remember that exactly, but it's basically early afternoon. There's a certain time that people who are not staying as pilgrims at the Pilgrim Center, so locals, can come on to the center for this tea. It's chai, it's unsweetened, but there's sugar there if you want it. And they're there and they're, you know, Baba lovers, and you know, you could have that interaction with them and so on, which I recommend. And it's a, you know, and there's also readings of God Speaks, usually once a week or something like that, on a certain day that you go to the library. And I like that one a lot because you kind of, the way they have the seating is sort of circular there. And when it, you know, someone comes who's a Baba lover, and there used to be two main guys that would sort of take turns doing it, and they would go through the whole God Speaks, and then they would start again, you know, like this week we're gonna read, you know, this. And they take a turn. Each person reads a paragraph, and then that paragraph is read, and then it said anything comes up for anyone, or if anyone wants to say anything, someone says something at that point, and then the leader might give some feedback on that, like, you know, oh, in this book also he said this, if you're looking into that and stuff. And then, you know, if nobody wants to say anything on that, then the next person in the circle, if they want to read, reads the next paragraph, and they may say pass, and they don't read that night. And so that's a wonderful experience too, to sit there with a bunch of people and, you know, read God Speaks together and give feedback. You know, it's, I think that's a beautiful thing. The library is a beautiful place. It's in the evening, early evening. So I recommend that. I recommend basically just really immerse yourself in the place and what's going on. I say it like, oh, hey, there's this stuff going on all the time. There isn't. Most of the time, there is just nothing is going on, and you have your time with God, and it's absolutely, totally dead quiet. You know what I mean? So that's going to be most of your time there. So, and I'm guessing because it's such a quiet time of year, you know, people will meet in the kitchen and, you know, hey, you know, hey, are you, you know, like what, you know, and you start from there. So, uh, and I wouldn't really let any of them know, you know, who I am and stuff, except I'll give you some spiritual juice on this one, okay? There's a blind guy who comes there very regularly called Markar, and he has been wanting to meet with me a couple years since they don't want me there because he kind of knows where I was headed and now I'm there spiritually, and he wants to check in with me and stuff. And he's really, I would say, uh the Bible lover you actually want to meet there. You know what I mean? Like he's usually accompanied. He's got lot of long gray hair. Usually, usually he's wearing a black coat, and he might have a cane. And he usually has a young lady there with him, a very nice young lady that kind of watches over him and stuff and helps him get through the Bible Center and so on. She's a Bible lover, very quiet. He is someone that, uh, oh, I'm getting texts. Good, Mike, you're back in. Um, so he's someone that if you're not around a bunch of people, because then you can be like, hey, I would appreciate it actually if somebody did that. If you see my car, say, hey, Jack McCaig is visiting but off site, and he would love to meet with you. Because he's been trying to meet with me and stuff, and he's blind, so I could come in a way, like the thing would be to ask him, hey, what's a good time to meet with you? You know what I mean? Like, should I come to another tea if he's at a tea? Should I come tomorrow? You know what I mean? Like, you all gonna know when I'm gonna be there. And say, oh, Jack's gonna be there this time, and so, what's the best way? Because he said, you want to meet with him, and he wants to meet with you. And what's the best way to do that? Just ask him, uh, and I'll follow along with whatever he says because, you know, uh, I'm here for the very few, right? And he's on a list. So that's the one exception. Um, but not around other people is stuff because they might be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I don't want that. So, just like keep it, very hush hush and just direct like that. Uh, yeah, people can park cars there. Oh my God, yeah. There is a mall across the street from the entrance. It's crazy, right? This place is the exact opposite of the mall. Yes, that's 100% true. Yes, yes. And yeah, there's plenty of parking for cars and stuff like that on site. Yes, and they're walking paths to where you're gonna stay, but you're allowed to drive your car up, drop off your stuff where you're staying, and then drive your car back to where you parked the cars. Good question. You can also not walk to the beach and drive your car too, which is, I mean, you'll never have a drive like that in your life. It's so amazing. Uh, I like the alligator pond. There's a nice gazebo there. It doesn't sound inviting, the alligator pond, but it actually is. There's a gazebo there on one side, and on the other side is a raised platform where you can look down into the place's stuff. That's a beautiful place you might not think to go to, but it's pretty cool, and it's on the drive or walk to the beach. So, and the beach is totally cool. Like, you want to go there and see that at some point, even if it's biting cold, you just take a look or whatever. Uh, no, I'm going to be staying very close to it though. And I'm not going to be staying on center, which actually they've kind of put it this way, like, this place is for some people and not for some other people. Basically, their response, and it's sort of a proper one in a way, oh, they say, you're a perfect master, so you don't need to come anymore. I was like, yeah, you're right. I don't need to, I don't, because I'm already where I am. But, do I want to go to my father's house and pay my respects? Yes. And so I will, unless they block me from doing that, which they won't. And I'll just, because that's a silent interaction. So, uh, you know, so it's going to be all about you and your pilgrimage. I'm just letting you know. Uh, the first time I met the devil there, the first question I got asked by the devil, right, was, do you think there are any agents at the Mayor Pilgrim Center. I was like, no way. Inwardly, oh my God, how naive, right? I wasn't fully informed yet. I've been going to there the first time I went there was in, I think it was 1998. Okay, so 24, 25 years ago is the first time I went there. All right. And I was taken there by my guru under lineage. You see what I'm saying? So I am here to give the same respect to you all and take you there under this spiritual hierarchy lineage. Make sure you go there, make myself available, but not make it about me. Just it's your pilgrimage to God. It's the proper way to do it. And so that makes it so I can do it properly to get you to Mary Baba's tomb. Plus, it's extremely common to have a reaction there, you know what I mean, of many kinds, reactions at there and over time. Like Mayor Baba said, you know, I don't come in until the shadow goes. And so that's a process of the shadow coming out of us, you know. And so health issues are common, some of them seemingly life-threatening from nowhere, but they pass. And, you know, it's just how God teaches us to take God's name and realize everything is about God. Also, there's a place called the Lagoon Cabin, and that's a very small cabin, but that's available 24/7. If you're having any spiritual reaction, if you're having anything, you go to the Lagoon Cabin. That's his place for that. Okay, it's no one can say anything in there. It's 100% silent, 24 hours a day. Nobody's gonna say a word. And there's a wonderful couch there. There's a place to be on the floor. There's chairs in there, but it's very small. But it's 24/7. You can go there. Okay, you're on site. Go to the Lagoon Cabin. It's a very small cabin. It's kind of the place that Baba said, you know, you can come here. He used to have gatherings at the barn, which is sort of like a little away from the main area, and that's a cool place to go and visit and see, oh, this is the place where Mayor Baba would gather with people and so on. Okay, seeing that, because you can see in old videos, like, oh, you know, people would gather and carry him on a chair because he got here after his car accident, you know, where he was, you know, almost immobilized, you know, and so he could get up from that chair and so on, but they would carry him around and he would gather in there, and you can watch video of that. That's in the barn. Last time I was there, the barn got broken into. They were fixing it. They put up a gate to get to the beach. Like, it's changed a lot since the first time I was there. I used to walk around at night by myself. I've been everywhere. I didn't worry about the gators or whatever. I'd go into the woods and all this kind of stuff. Can't do that anymore. You can't, because they got cameras up. You have to follow the rules. Don't be doing anything you're not supposed to be doing. Stick to the past. They'll be watching everything you do. Okay? So, but, you know, the rules are nothing. There's nothing, you know, they're just watching over the place like a museum. They don't want it messed up. Okay? Which is, how reasonable is that? Like, I think it's very reasonable. So just follow along with what they say. Let's see what else we got here. I made a couple notes. That's let's see. Yeah. D. The first cabin is to the left of the direct path to Bear Baba's house or family cabin. True. Stay there. Yes. They're wonderful, aren't they? Yeah. There are a couple other ones too. As you go on the left, there's some to the right there too, closer to the lake. Yes, that's correct, DD. 100%. There are also some other ones too. There's another one kind of near not the old kitchen, but they call it the new kitchen. There's one near the new kitchen too that I've stayed in. Around the place. Shea Baba, DD. You remember what was the first year? Yeah, I think it was 98. I went there. 98, 90, maybe 99, but I think it was 98, the end of 98, in a winter, right before it turned to 99. I think that's when I went there first. So 25 years. since I've been there first time. And my guru took me first time, so I want to take you. And then you don't have to go with me again. You see, you could go to this place in America. You have a real, true spiritual retreat that's affordable, that just don't rock the boat or anything like that. And they will totally let you there. Keep it about you and Bear Mama. Don't they know who you are, what's up, and all that stuff. No one else is going to be where I am, and keep the body. Like that ain't going to happen. There aren't enough years left. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to just. I'm telling you, don't make waves there. No, I had to for them. Okay, don't make waves of any kind. Just don't. And this will be your spiritual home, your spiritual retreat that is really sublime. It's so perfect. Like it's so affordable. Someone like Mike, who's at times living on the road. I mean, you can't even imagine how fabulous this place is. Dee Dee, they have great ones, but the one that has its own kitchen, the people there said it's great for families with children. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I stated that one too. I stated that one too. Uh, yes, Beer Mama and Christ consciousness. Absolutely. Yes, I do. Yes. Therefore, you're in the same Beer Mama position for this time loop. What can I say? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules to say about ego. What it is that this is how you can tell. Okay, you could read it. I think it's the everything and the nothing. It might be the nothing and the everything. It's the one about when he talks about coming under the chicken's wings, and his name is Satan, Saitan. Like, he expresses him what he did the first time. He was Ganesh, right? So the first time he's like, the first time was Avatar. The first time I won the game, right? Is he describes himself as the mischievous chicken. And he made a drawing of it that some people might wear this chicken thing. You'd be like, what's going on? Like an image of a chicken, just like a line drawing sketch. Nothing, you know what I mean? But he used to say, what he wrote about it was, I was the mischievous chicken. All the other chicks, stayed under the hen's wings. But this one mischievous chicken kept going out from under the hen's wings, and then Mother Hen would say, get back in here. And he would be out there and be, okay, and he'd go back in. But eventually that mischievous chicken didn't come back under the wings of the chicken and would just stay out there. That's the mischievous chicken. Meaning, the first one with Christ consciousness is the one that God says to receive Christ consciousness first and help the rest. You see what I'm saying? And that's how you can tell who's who. Who got that consciousness first here is the one, right? That's how you can tell. I got the Christ consciousness first. My guru who took me, I asked him a question recently, Fred. This is a really good question you had, Fred. Keep up the good work. Okay. I read in one of the Bible books, because I've been, I figured out who my guru is, but I'm like, you're running this thing, you know what I mean? You're one of the 5 perfect masters. You're one of the key, and he's like, he's sort of, but this, I talked to him about maybe a week or 10 days ago or something like that, and I said, listen, you're the head of the 5 perfect masters. You're the one that runs not the age, but the cycle. And he says to me, this is the answer. His answer is if I was, I couldn't tell you. Oh my goodness. So perfect, right? I mean, can you imagine being here for every cycle, and his main job being to, every time you know God comes in here in a body with a memory wiped, is to know who that is, and because it's always going to be the same named body and stuff like that. Like, the loops don't change. You know what I'm saying? The ages don't change, the cycle don't change, so they know who's who and who's going to be coming in and stuff like that. I I mean, he's so far spiritually advanced. First time I met him, I just felt like he was my best friend. You know, it was hard time, and my God, I've been through the ringer. You know what I'm saying? Angry, homeless. You know, put in jail. Oh my God, right? uh, but everybody tells me, ejects me from everything. I'm treated horribly for what I've done and what I know as someone like that in this stuff. Him, infinitely patient. I mean, can you imagine all the mess ups I've had and all this stuff coming to this and never saying a cross word to me ever? You know what I'm saying? Like, and be that spiritually advanced. I mean, it's indescribable to have, because I would see him a lot, right, when I got started this, and I haven't seen him for years. He's off doing his work with others that need him. I don't need him. You see, I check in with him, I keep him apprised of what's up. Uh, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But these cycles are repeating now. Those things that happened one time are not happening again. You see? Like, but this cycle is happening a lot of times, the one we're in. You see what I'm saying? It's happening over and over and over. So let's Fred. So therefore, I'm in the position of Mayor Bob in this loop. Exactly. In other words, the ones that got me here, they're here for the cycle, not just for the age. 11 ages in the cycle. They're here. Those five perfect masters, they're here for the cycle. You see what I'm saying? And they helping this consciousness of mine in and out of these bodies. Because what? Everyone else has their memory wiped. Everyone else that comes to God, they're going to get treated like crap up in here. If I'm coming directly as God to take on this thing like Mayor Bauman did, would it be fair of me to be like, oh, I'm going to do it this way and stuff like that? It's not. How would I be able to relate to you and what you're going to have to go through and everything you're going through unless I didn't do it myself? And I mean, exactly, and get treated way worse for being the first one through. You see what I'm saying? Like, that would be living the life of a hypocrite. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I do this, but you do that. Ow. That ain't what God's about. I mean, if God despises hypocrisy. No, hypocrisy. That's the one quality that God does not have any patience for, is being a hypocrite. You know, that way, whatever you're doing that's supposedly bad or whatever, you're honest with who you're following spiritually. You're just honest about, I'm having this problem, I'm doing this, whatever. It's not looked on like, oh, that's good, that's bad. No, these are steps in your spiritual advancement going to God. It's difficult road, it's hard, and you have to be guided there by someone that's got there. How could, unless someone's saying, hey, you're in a time loop, because the ones who were our counterpoints, who are playing every character in this game so we can win this game, if they gave away anything, that takes away our spiritual advancement. No, we have to come through on our own from someone that's done it. Memory wiped the whole way, the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, God is a hypocrite, and God is anything but a hypocrite. Seriously. So, Fred, super good question. I pointed that out. And I don't want to go into it that much, honestly, because it's like, oh, who I am becomes important. And it's not. You know what I'm saying? Jesus prayed to God. Mayor Brahma says, these are the names of God. You pray to God. You see what I'm saying? Like, God, we're going to God, okay? We're not going to me. We're not going, you see, Jesus is his son. He got elevated, so we use his name to get home. But we're going to the Father, you see, and the Son, but we're going to the Father, like that's God, God has parts now, three persons, mainly the Holy Spirit, Jesus, and the Father, yes. And I'm a son, right? I'm a child. I'm one of the children of God, just as you are a child of God. Like, I popped in here in a body. God put me in here just like put you in here. So there's no difference in what we can, and I can achieve it here. There's no difference. You can achieve just as high as I can, and that's my goal. Only is for the people that are willing to listen and take the steps. What? That you achieve the same. There's nothing else to do in this place, honestly. Really, it seems like there's a whole bunch of other stuff to do, but no, there's only one thing to do here. Advance spiritually to get home to God. That's it. Nothing else. Great question, Fred. I hope I answer that. And listen, everyone, you should be in. I'm having email problems on Jesus Christ Trust on that. It just stopped working. I have my tech on it. It's not solved yet. So get in the classroom, sign in there. It's free. I want to do, for the pilgrims doing this, I want to be able to message you in there. I don't want to be disconnected from you. I want you to feel like, hey, I have this question. I'm having this experience, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. I want to be available to you as you go through this. It's very important because things will come up. Don't think that something is coming up not for a particular reason. It will be. It's supposed to. You're supposed to advance, meaning you leave stuff behind. Okay. D. They have cool cabins over it. They do at a library. I was supposed to say it. Everybody go to the library, right? I went there to check the books and had a group in the back gather. Yes, they read God Speaks, or they did before. They have other. Then they last time I went, they had another gathering there that they were doing about something else. So they have a spiritual program. They have a calendar. It's in the kitchens. It's going to be given to you when you get there. It's everywhere. You're going to know who's doing what and so on. I recommend you do those things. Okay. The Ganesh is the same as, well, I mean, no. Adam is the devil, right? And so that's who got tricked by Eve, and so that's the devil. Uh, Fred, maybe one should make a pilgrimage to you for truth. That's what I'm combining it. Do you get that, Fred? All right, Peyton. Good to have you. Uh, I'm trying to make it so people could advance the most. You follow me? That's how I was taken there by the one that gave over the key to me. You know what I'm saying? If you look into Mir Baba's journey and his five perfect masters, each one of them did something to him to help him advance. But there was one that held the spiritual key, and and there was one he hung out with the most too, in Upazi Maharaj, which doesn't look super different from me, honestly. I mean, he obviously doesn't look just like me, but it's funny. But that's who. Uh, you know, I mean, going to India, okay, if you haven't been there, it's a major cultural shift. And what I found is, in his tomb, I mean, there's no words to describe it. You know what I mean? So this is going to put in place like the knowledge framework, the experience framework, and everything like that to get you to next winter who wants to go and really, take their advancement further at Mayor Baba's tomb at that spiritual center. You'll be prepared as much as you can be for that interaction, okay? And then when you have those two things, honestly, I'll be here for questions and stuff like that, but I mean, those are going to be the experiences that you need, to get your consciousness with God, and then it will be advancing. So Fred, I'm combining that, so you don't have to choose allegiance or nothing like that. No, you go to Mayor Baba Center, and this will work in tandem like that, okay? The way it's supposed to. The five perfect masters changing cycle, correct, and that's why you see Mayor Baba had a unusual thing that I didn't understand for a while. It took me many years to be like, what's going on, Because one of the first times I met my guru, he said, "Oh yeah, man, I've never seen this anywhere in print, and I've never seen him say it to anyone else either." So I'm telling you. But he told me as a child with his mother, he went in front of Mir Baba and played music as a child, and Mir Baba came over to him and touched him on his head with Mir Baba's foot. Never done that to another individual. Mayor Baba was always in search of a perfect boy. And he always explained everyone should become dust on my feet. Those are the words he used. And so, what did he do to this boy? He touched the boy with his foot on his head, making him the head perfect master of the coming cycle. Okay? I know that. And that's what he couldn't tell me. That's what hey, you're the one running the cycle. And he's like, well, and I asked him this like week 10 days ago. He said, well, if I was, I couldn't tell you. And that's you so few words, but so much knowledge in that sentence. It's beyond what maybe one can even take in over their time here. It's really it's really amazing, the words. All right, Peyton, if you got any thoughts or whatever, you're always welcome to, throw it out. Uh, so yeah, they are changed. God chooses who's going to do it because, I mean, you got to be doing this forever. That's no good. Eventually, your consciousness just returns to God, and you don't have to come back in here. So there's no way that Sai Baba, one of Mayor Baba's perfect masters, would come back in a human form. No, because I mean, there's an end of a cycle. That would be like there isn't actually a cycle. You know what I'm saying? But Mayor Baba said specifically, I forget where I read it in text, that perfect masters are chosen for a cycle. It's just in print. So I didn't have to figure that one out. Like I'm searching for the Holy Spirit, but it's like you read that. Oh yeah, I did read that. So that way you can read in print and Mayor Baba's stuff. And so that's why I read a lot of Mayor Baba. Like to access the Holy Spirit and that consciousness, keeps deteriorating this body, because this form that I'm in, because it makes me combined with affinity, which isn't meant to, affinity and this finite place aren't meant to be united. Affinity is not here. This is the finite. You see, those two combined, it's only God can make that happen and make me not die and make me stay in a body and make me do this. You see, it's not supposed to happen for people. You get to the end of the cycle, you get eternal life, like Jesus said, you make it to the last day of the end. This is the last of the age, and this is the last of the cycle, the Kali Yuga. And this Kali Yuga keeps repeating. So, you make it to then, and then, like you read in the Bible, one will be in the field and one will disappear, you see? And so they're going to be in the new prison. This earth will change into the moon, and, they're in prison there, and they have to work their way back up here. So, okay, thank you. The reason I ask is because there was someone who died in 2011 who claimed to be Sai Baba reincarnated. Yeah, whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like, did they say anything about what I'm saying? The 64-year time loop, blah, 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 blah. And if they were Sai Baba reincarnated, would they say it? No, they say what my guru said. They say, if I was, I couldn't tell you the proper answer. You see what I'm saying? And if I was perfect master, I wouldn't be able to tell you too, but I'm not. You see? False prophets, exactly. And so you bringing that question to me, to obviously the way you determine, oh, that's a real prophet, I'm able to unwind it for you. Every question I can unwind for you because I have Christ conscious. I'm God. Your Mama calls it God realization. They're, bodhisattva, there are many words and so on, but it just means, just simply plain in English, right? Your consciousness is no longer combined with anything in this world. It's combined with God with no separation, right? All the veils, all the feeling of being separate from God are removed. That's what it means, just in plain English, and you know all the truth. And so you're here to provide that truth for the people that are able to, access that truth. It's not for everyone. Everyone's not supposed to win this game. No, they God didn't make them ready to do it now. There is, I was thinking about this morning. Let me put it this way. I think this will help people. Way it come to me today. God sent me these thoughts today. Okay, here are the roles we play. First, we play every, our consciousness is in every different physical form here, from clouds to trees and rocks, and then every animal form. You know what I'm saying? That's what Mayor Baba calls evolution. Like your consciousness evolves, and then you start taking a human form. You see what I'm saying? Uh, and in that process, there's everyone starts off as an angel consciousness, okay, meaning that you don't have free will. There is no free will. Angel consciousness is no free will. You're under God's direct orders. So you don't really have complete sort of independent consciousness in a way. Your consciousness is combined with God. It's not separate, but there's no free will. You see what I'm saying? Then what happens? You're given an order. If for some reason you have a heart, right? Because that's where consciousness come from. Thoughts come in here and stuff. That's not where consciousness come from. It comes in the heart. Okay. And then them angels on purpose from God, if they're, they work up the ranks until they're in the highest spot and they're always working up. When somebody gets out, how do they get out as an angel? Well, they say no to God in a way, right? Like the way the devil did and stuff. Okay, so you're like, I can't stomach that. And so you make a spiritual error, but it's an error that God planned for you to make to initiate your own individual free will and consciousness. And so God on purpose gives you an order you can't do. God knows everyone. So you can't do it. And so you somehow say no or equivocate or hesitate or anything, you see? And so then you're like, that's the beginning of free will. Then you think you know more than God. Oh, okay. Then you gotta work your way back up the ranks, back up to, oh, now I serve God and I'm going through all the levels. And then you're trusted by God again. And then what? You play one of the 7,000. You see the same total free will. You come in here with your memory wiped. You don't know what's what or nothing like that, right? And then what happens? You got to work your way back to only God is real, and only following what God says is all that matters. In other words, you become, by your free will, a servant of God that will listen to God and do everything God says, and you will never equivocate or hesitate or ever have fear. The only thing you will do if given an order from God is my saying, right? When I'm given an order for God, I have a saying for it for myself. You say, I do. And that's it. That's all I say in relation to God. You say it, I do. I don't. You tell me you jump off that cliff. Oh, man, I am running off that cliff. That instant, boom, I'm off the cliff. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter what it is. God give you the order. That's it. You see what I'm saying? So your consciousness evolves from angel. You fall and you work your way back up, and then you have your memory wipe, and then eventually you come back to God when what? You realize, oh my God. What, God? What should I do? Right? Tell me what to do. That's all you want to know. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. And then you follow exactly what God says. And so you have to combine your consciousness and work on that. And like I was explaining the last time we got together, right? And so that's what we have. And then eventually you could make it so, okay, I tested you in all these different many ways. You never veered. You stayed with God. You follow my orders. Come on home. You see, but don't come home right away. Let me drop you back in the body and you tell everybody else how to get home. Okay. Uh, I hope that helps people understand kind of in a broad view how this game is played and how it's won. All right, how I won it, how you too can win it. Okay, sorry, let's see. Alan, is that why Mayor Obama said he is omniscient without using his mind? Uh, yeah. I mean, mind is, there's a universal mind. In other words, I'm combined with God, and uh, even in extreme examples, like when I touched Bear Mama's too for the first time, I just lost my consciousness, but words came out of my mouth that I have no idea where they came from. I mean, I know they came from God. No, no, okay. Like, I let me put it another way. I know they didn't come from me. That's what I was trying to say. I know they didn't come from me. I know they come from God. And I said, this is all I said. Bear Mama is God, and I could see this world. And after I touched his tomb, those words came out of me. And it's true. I met with God, you know? So that's that. Yeah, it's not your mind that does it. It's your universal mind is a connection. It's like that's you know, uh what is like you see in old movies like all the women sitting there as operators on a telephone. It's like chunk, let me plug you in. Whoop, and plug you in. That's you're plugged in. But, you know, how could God be limited by mind or thoughts or no way, right? God is in the end unfathomable. How can I be talking about something that knows all of us? And it's just it's indescribable. So what I'm trying to describe to people is how you win this game and how you get to God. You see what I'm saying? It's not, you can't describe God. Like, that's, you could try, you could say these are something, but I mean, it's how? You know nothing about God if you think you can describe God. Like, it's just unfathomable. You could explain attributes and, you know, the game that we find ourselves in and how to win it and these things, yes. But to describe God, I mean, Mayor Papa does it, I would say, perfectly, but still says, how can I describe God, basically. So, yes. And the mind is annihilated. Correct, Alan. 100% yes. Look at, man, this guy. When I first interacted with Al, I was like, dude, this is like the crap. I have to be somehow as smart as Alan. Yikes. God help me. Whoa. But no, you're on it. You really put in your work on dissecting exactly the way Mayor Bauman described it, and you're put me on the rack and squeeze me for everything you got. You're supposed to do that. Keep up the great work. Yes. Yes. It's your heart. Like, he's the compassionate one. You see what I'm saying? That's from the heart. That's what we lack is, they're playing on our soft heart. Like, we have a heart. We got in this game, but we have to learn head in here. Like, that's what I'm here to teach you. But in the end, is the connections from the heart. You see what I'm saying? What they're the heartless ones, the ones in here, the fallen angels and stuff. They're under orders. They're not under, oh, if it feels this way. Nah, they're under orders. Orders. That's not working from your heart. That's following your intellect. I will do what you say. Yes. But have your memory wipe be one of the 7,000. You're from your heart because you have free will. You get to decide to be with God or not. Your decision, you see? And so then, dear Mama, God enters your heart. Jesus enters your heart. That's who Jesus Christ, when I lost consciousness, literally took his heart out with the thorns around it and everything. And, Bear Mama took out and Jesus put in his heart in here. And Gabriel, the Holy Spirit, gave me the sword of justice. I mean, that's just what I experienced. That's not, everyone is not going to have that experience. The first one through has that experience. And then, there's one sword of justice. And then, but as far as getting Jesus' heart, yeah, it's your heart that changes, you see? Yeah. Okay, I wanted to do this video to generally prepare people for this pilgrimage and give us some details about don't give out the dates to anyone. I mean, not anyone. Not anyone. Don't give it out to anyone, not the month, not the dates, nothing. Okay, because that will, because I'm telling you not to. So if you do, That'll hurt your spiritual advancement if you're going to do it because I said not to. There are reasons. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to make this about you and God and not me. You see what I'm saying? You ultimately have to prove yourself in front of God, not in front of me. Who am I? I don't hand down sentences to anyone. That's what a judge does, and God judges everyone. Hands out your sentence. Oh, go back into a rock, right? If you reach the fourth plate, you don't listen to a perfect master. You got the, oh, let me do some miracles up in here like a magician. They're gonna be turned back into a rock. You know, that's not cool. I don't want that for you. Like, all you got to do is make it over that thing, and then you can't go backwards no more. So, don't do that. Okay? Listen. Listen to these few things that are here in place and a framework to advance you, and they all make logical common sense. It's not like I'm asking for anything outlandish or anything. Like, just take your time with God. That's all. Respect the place you're going. Follow their rules. What? That's nothing. ha- you know, that's nothing hard. Like, you need to do that. Okay. All right. Unless someone has something else. Wow, what a great list of super great thoughts and questions. Thank you. I can tell people are really, have it really on their heart and mind that they're going here. I really want to advance. So great. You know. And if you think, Mary Baba, if you think you can't be healed on this pilgrimage, you know nothing about God. You, do, is that succinct enough for everyone? If you think you got a health issue, you can't go to God, you don't understand God. God can heal you in less than any amount of time, instantly. So is that a test? Oh my God, the health issues that I've had and so on. But now I'm like, you know, I always say when I go to the drum circle, like the rest of the older, the ones here playing the game and stuff, they hate my guts. Because it's like, dude, that dude's healthy. You look at him dance for like 2 hours straight, more than anyone in their 20s can do. So they just hate my guts, because their body's failing and stuff because they didn't come to God. And, I don't care about my body other than I need it to function to help you. You see what I'm saying? If oh, hey, I can't walk, I can't, if I can't travel, if I can't use my mouth and say words, if I can't see things, I'm not really that of much use to you. I need to, so when I pray to God, I'm like, just keep me healthy. I'll do my part, exercise, eat right, stuff like that, and have good habits so that, I can keep the form and be of useful service to you and anyone that was that useful service. So, but Erich wrote a thing about taking a pilgrimage, and it was if you're thinking don't take a pilgrimage because you have this concern or worry at your home or business or whatever it is, whatever it is, uh, you don't understand God. You don't understand because it's a hack. I'm giving you the greatest spiritual hack that there is doing this pilgrimage. I'm taking my time to do it and everything. And whose shoulders is this going to fall on? You follow me? You don't have no idea. And my guru's got, you know, the physical problems he has to go through. And I mean, you want to talk about someone steeped in exactness of what he eats and where he goes, a particular time of day, and oh my God, following his religion and everything, it's and yet still he has to deteriorate physically and experience that pain and so on because otherwise you're not helping anybody move forward unless you're taking on that karma and stuff and then giving it directly to God and how. Well, you can't help anyone advance because if you're a hypocrite and stuff, you're gonna die before you meet Judgment Day. Like this question Alan had. This guy said he was Sai Baba, but he died. I say it can't be killed until Judgment Day. Who says that? No one else alive says I can't be killed. No one else alive. That's for you. Does that help me? Not so much. You know what I'm saying? And to make it easy on me, right? How many people try and come and kill me? Yeah, yeah. How many people have tried? Yeah, exactly. So, you follow me? It's that simple. Uh, you know, that dude says he can't be killed, so try and kill him. Okay. Well, he's still alive, so I mean, I've done everything so they want to kill me. 50 freaking court cases expose this and that. I mean, I'm not doing it anymore. I already told you, but I went up to two cops in the last week, right? And said, hey, you know what I mean? I don't have no fear. I'm like, yo, I'm coming at you. Now it's like, okay, I'm doing it for you all. No, I'm not giving no juice out anymore to just widely spread because it's a waste. We're under 10 years. Only a very, very few are going to advance. Very few. Very few. Very, very, very few. But an increasing number. Right now, there are 10s approved to go on, 10 people approved to go on a spiritual pilgrimage. There could be some more, I don't know. But it's up to 10 that are going to go and make plans and stuff. So this is going to be a real interaction for you. You know, go ahead. You know, that's in the numbers that I've been up against, that's a lot of people in the age to come forward. That's a real solid amount to advance. So it's a solid amount for you to interact with too on a pilgrimage. You know, because you could actually trust these people, and you know, you can trust that they're in their place of advancement, right? And they're coming to God. It's a wicked road forward, right? Wickedly difficult, you know, hard. And so nobody's going to be advanced as I am. But from where someone is, you're that advanced. So you can explain to somebody else, oh, you know, this is how I got here. This is where my experience. You have real information to share with others. You do. And share with each other. It's all real. uh, I can share from where I am, but it's like what I used to do, you know, internal martial arts. There are two ways you can learn, right? You can learn from the master in the class, and you know that okay, but then you also learn from your classmates in the class who are closer at your level. So you learn it both ways. You see, those two ways both have will push you forward a lot. Okay, all right. I kind of wanted to give this out so that people could prepare themselves, okay, for this. And, you know, you're going to be under God's care. So you're not going to need a lot there or nothing like that. Bring food that you eat and, you know, clothes and stuff. And, maybe your favorite Bible book or whatever. You're not supposed to work while you're there on site. You're not supposed to do no work on that, you know, like money making kind of work and stuff like that. You're not supposed to do that while you're there. You're not supposed to do any kind of use any divining tools of any kind, like tarot cards or dice or uh, you know, whatever. You're not supposed to do that. They have a short list, which will be given where you know, apply. Okay. Um, so I think that's a pretty good preparation information for you to move forward in this for the people that are going. Uh, you know, I think this is a lot more than I got. Let me tell you what. My guru says, "Hey, let's go to you know the Baba Center." I was like, well, I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, let's go. Yeah, I got in the car and we went. That was it. I found out when I got there. He didn't say a word. Nothing. Zero. But I'm trying, you know, our time is short, okay? We're under 10 years, and I am trying to get you as far as I can get you in the amount of time we have left, okay? So I'm giving you as much useful information as I can possibly give, okay? On purpose. I'm not one of them. I don't have to do this. You see, that's my role is the unique role that isn't silent. You see, it's so funny that Bob was silent and I come in here speaking, you know, he was preparing that. It's amazing, when you see the level of this game. It's really about how much God loves us. When you think about the level of difficulty and the players and the rules and the details and all this information, it's just, it's all about how much God loves who loves God back. You see, their Mama said, "Love me with all your heart, and I will love you back infinitely." Because God is infinite. We can just love as much as we can love, do that, and then the return is God gives us infinite love for that. That's my goal, is that. Because the rest of life is just it's just nothing. It's nothing compared to God. Just zero. A total big fat nothing. Meeting with God just blots out everything else and brings you to the truth, to where you just, I have to go back in the body. Oh, that's great. I did say I'd do that though, so. But anyway, I'll go back to God after, and that's all I want for you. Okay, if there are no more questions or thoughts or words, I'm gonna move on, and you can move on with your day. And thank you for the people that Fred, like everyone here, asking these really great questions and really putting their heart into this. That's what makes you advance. You know what I'm saying? Like, when that sled dog is pulling a sled by himself and it's through the, you know, that's how you advance. You pull, break that trail and pull hard, pull as hard as you can towards God. That's all you can do, and cry out for God's help as you're pulling. Because you feel like you're pulling the weight of the world, which you sort of are. You're pulling the weight of the world off of you. You see, you are pulling the weight of the world, but it starts to get lighter and lighter as you pull harder and get closer to God. It gets lighter and lighter because you're less of the world. You see, right? You're not of this world. This is the prison. You're of God, which is the exact opposite of this prison. All right, I'm gonna end it. I got some work to do. I got a client coming up. I got to meet with and for Liberty and Academy. Everyone, praise Jesus Christ. Thank you, Alan. That's right. That's right. No one comes to the Father but through the Son. So you gotta. I'm an exception. You know what I'm saying? But I was schooled in the Son. Like, it wasn't up to me. I was like, you're going to Catholic school. You know what I mean? You're gonna come to the Son. Okay. Even I have to, right? Like, it's a rule in this age. There's no other way. So praise Jesus Christ. Okay, everyone, you're doing great. Okay, you are. Keep up the great work. Keep up the progress. Keep up, just, we should be saying God's name and just thinking about God. And that's it. Okay? And, ask me all the hardest, whatever. I got the answers. Okay? So I'm here for that. All right, everyone. God watch over you all, and Jesus Christ help them, please. Okay, this is what they need, so help them all. All right, I'll be on live again Sunday at noon, if not before, everyone. Okay, have a wonderful day.